What's up, everybody? Welcome to Queer Girl Straight Skates. My name's Rebel and welcome to the long-awaited episode, How to Travel with Your Roller Skates. People have asked me to make this video for a long time and I'm finally making it, mostly because I am terrible and I always pack last minute, but I'm finally on top of things. So today I'm gonna pack and I'm gonna tell you how I'm packing my skates and also show you how you might pack skates if you're traveling in a different way. So I'm gonna give you all the options of how to travel with your roller skates. So if you're traveling with your roller skates or you wanna travel with your roller skates, stay tuned. Queer Girl Straight Skates is a YouTube channel all about roller skating. So if you love roller skating, or if you want to love roller skating, then go ahead and click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I post, which is every week. And head on over to cheerstothequeers.com where you can buy cute roller skate accessories like laces and skate charms or other accessories like earrings, and it supports me and it supports this channel and helps everything stay running and stay rolling. Okay, so without further ado, how do I pack my roller skates? Why would I even want to pack my roller skates? Well, when you become a roller skater, there's something magical that happens inside of you, which is an addiction that forms to roller skating. And you want to have your roller skates everywhere with you, and that is completely understandable. Ever since I started roller skating, I rarely travel without my roller skates. So I have traveled via car, via plane, via train. I've traveled pretty much any way you could think of with my roller skates. Today though, we're really gonna focus on how to travel with roller skates, especially in a plane and in a packing situation, because with a car, you could just like throw them in the car. So where am I traveling this time, you might ask? Well, I am traveling to Moxie Skate Camp East, which is in Pennsylvania. So I signed up to have one like piece of luggage and then one carry-on. And since I'm going to Moxie Skate Camp, I want to make sure to have all of my gear. So this particular situation, I'm going to need more space to make sure I have room for my knee pads, my wrist guards, my helmet, and my roller skates. And my roller skates that I use for ramp skating are a bit more bulky than the skates that I use for other things. So I'm definitely gonna have to make sure that I have not only the space, but also the weight for my skates and my gear in my bag. I also make sure that I have like a bag or something to put my gear in, because I have gotten to places where I have all my gear and I like put it in my carry-on, but then when I get to the actual like place, like I don't have an actual bag to carry all my gear with to the skate park or wherever location. So I'm always remembering to also pack a bag to then carry my gear in once I get to the location. Don't make that mistake. Welcome to my room. This is my closet. This is my favorite wallpaper in the house. And right down here is Bowie. He's just staring at me, judging me. Okay, so there are many ways that you can go about carrying your skates, and I've done just about all of them. So I'm gonna go through all of them, and then we're just gonna talk about the pros and cons and kind of how you can not get away with it, but yeah. So I tend to like to keep my skates with me. Most of the time I like to keep my skates with me because you never know like when there's gonna be some time in the airport that you can just kind of like bust your skates out and skate around a little bit. Or if there's like a really long distance for you to go in the airport and you wanna get from point A to point B and have more fun while doing it, having your roller skates is a really great way to like spend that time and enjoy yourself. And also, you just never know. Like sometimes airports will let you skate. Sometimes they won't. There's no like big, like, yes, skate in airports, or no, don't skate in airports. It's kind of, it just depends. It really does. So a lot of times what I like to do is I like to have my roller skates and put them on a skate leash, which a skate leash is just a thing that carries, like makes you able to hold them. Let me show you. All right, so this is a skate leash. There are skate leashes on cheerstothequeers.com. So what a skate leash does, this one, you put this around the top and then you just cinch in your skates and then you can carry them. So typically what I would do is I would connect my skates together using a skate leash like this, and then I would either here's a couple options for you. So if you're gonna play the safe route, this can be your personal item. So on many planes and many different companies, they're going to allow you a carry-on and a personal item. And so a lot of times I will just default to this being my personal item. And then my carry-on is gonna be my bag that has like my laptop or notebook or books or whatever I'm gonna need like to actually use on the plane. And then I'll have this that will be my personal item. And then I have my checked bag, which is going to have like everything that I'm bringing. That is the safe way to travel with skates because your skates never leave your side and you know for sure that it's going to be allowed because this is the size of a personal item. You don't have to check them in as sports equipment or anything. You're carrying them with you the whole time so you never lose sight of them. So that's option number one. So another thing that I've done that I absolutely do not recommend, but it's something that I've done several times and fully just depends on whether or not you're sneaky enough or whether or not you get away with it. And again, absolutely not a recommendation, but what I do sometimes, and you have to be prepared for this to go wrong, okay? So if it goes wrong, you need to have space in your luggage to be able to fit your skates. So space in your carry-on bag or space in your personal item. But what I like to do a lot, let's say I'm using this as my carry-on, this backpack, and let's say I have like a purse or something as my personal item. So what I'll do, or what a person might do that I may or may not have ever done, is I will either put this on here as if it's connected to my actual backpack. I don't know if you can see this. So it's like on here and I'll like put it under the strap and like kind of connect it onto my backpack so that I can argue that it's part of my backpack, which sometimes works. But sometimes they're like, no way, ma'am, put those in your bag. And then sometimes you can also carry it like this, where your skate leash, it's still the same skate leash, I just put it around my neck and now it really looks like these skates are just connected to my backpack straps. So that is one of the main things that I do when I'm traveling, to travel with my roller skates, have them on my person, but also still have like a personal item and my carry-on. So if you choose to do this, you can't bring attention to yourself, and you also shouldn't try and like, you know how sometimes you're like, I'm gonna try and have like a fanny pack or something like that. Don't try any of the other stuff. Have this be the only thing that you're trying, and you know, then you're pulling along your personal item or whatever, holding it, something like that. So that is the way that you can sometimes travel with skates on an airplane. Oh, I almost forgot. There's also backpacks that you can hook your skates into, like this. The next way that you can travel with skates is, let's say you have a personal item, which is, you know, your purse or your bag that has your computer or your notebook or whatever in it. And then you have an actual carry-on, like maybe a roller carry-on. And then you put your skates and your gear in that. And that is kind of like the thing that you always have with you. And maybe they have you gate check it or maybe they don't. But you could just put like your helmet, your knee pads, your wrist guards, your skates all in one like carry-on bag. And then that could also potentially be the thing that you just bring to the skate park or bring to wherever you're going. And then you just have a built-in park bag or skate bag with you. I do that sometimes when I'm going places like Woodward East, where I know I'm gonna have a big distance in between locations and I'm gonna wanna roll the bag instead of carrying my regular skate bag. It works sometimes, although you just have to be aware that sometimes the people at the airport will want to check your carry-on bag. So if you're a person who like really likes having their skates with them and is very nervous about their skates leaving their side, then you just have to be aware that maybe if you're in one of the later check-in groups, that they might make you check your rolly bag. Or if you're on a smaller plane, they might make you check your roller bag, even if it's gate checking. So that's something to be aware of. And that could look something like this. Okay, so this is the little roller bag that I found. It's a carry-on size. First, I'm putting my skates in, then my knee pads, then I'm gonna put my wrist guards on the side. They fit in so nice right there. This is some Sanoderm. These are stickers. I always bring a fanny pack so that I can skate with hands free. This is for stretching. Then I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna put these cones in. The cones are because I'm teaching, so you probably won't need cones. Sometimes they will not let you have that tool on the plane, so you might wanna put that in your checked baggage. I always bring extra laces just in case mine break. And then I tried to put my helmet in here, but it didn't fit, so I'm gonna have to put it in my checked luggage. But if you have a bigger bag or a softer bag, you might be able to fit your helmet inside that carry-on. The last way that I know of to pack your roller skates with you and go on a trip is to put them in your main luggage bag. So if you're putting your skates in your main luggage bag, you're gonna wanna make sure that you protect not only your skates, but then your other stuff. Like let's say you have your toiletries in your check-on bag, but you also have your skates. You're gonna want to like put something soft and cushiony in between your skates, like your trucks and other things that you don't wanna get knocked around and run into. Important things to remember, and these are like the main tips I think about traveling with your skates. One is to always have a backup plan, right? So if your plan is to kind of sneak in with your skates as part of your carry-on or personal item, there might be someone who stops you, and you should have a backup plan for that because you don't want to get stuck not being able to travel with your roller skates. The second thing I would recommend is to have some sort of like bag, whether it's like one of those reusable grocery bags or any sort of covering to put over your skates, because we forget that our skates are hella dirty. And also, like if you're bringing gear with you, your gear is probably way stinkier than your regular like clean laundry and clothes. So I would recommend putting your gear, so like knee pads, wrist guards, elbow pads, whatever you're choosing to bring, I would put that in a bag. Like I would seal it so that the stink doesn't get on everything, because that totally sucks. And I would also put some sort of plush or protective covering around your skates to protect not only your skates, but anything else you might have in your bag. The final thing that I would suggest is to make sure you're aware of how heavy everything is. So like your skates are way heavier than probably anything else that you're gonna pack in your bag. So you might pack the regular amount of stuff, add your skates in, and then you might be over the weight limit. So I would definitely recommend throwing your bag on a scale or getting one of those lifting scales to measure how much your bag weighs. And that's for not just a checked-in bag, but also a carry-on bag. Sometimes there are guidelines to how much they can weigh or how big they can be. So those are my tips. I think that you are gonna have a great time traveling with your roller skates. I definitely recommend going new places and traveling with your roller skates. It's one of my favorite things ever. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and throw them below and then I can answer them for you. I can give you any tips or tricks that I've learned throughout the years, and I'm gonna show you how you could potentially pack your stuff in the main like checked in bag as well. I'm gonna insert that here. Now we're gonna pack the big bag. So with the big bag, I try and just make one side where I put all of the skate stuff, and I'm really trying to consolidate as much as possible. So putting things inside things, like you see the wrist guards and the helmet, and making sure it's like this flat layer. I try and put them all together. The cones fit in the helmet. I know it might be gross, whatever, I'm a trash panda. And then I flip it over, and then I make sure I have my skate leash, and we're all good. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Queer Girl Straight Skates. I hope it was helpful for you, and if I ever come to your city, I'll see you there. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and head on over to cheersofthequeers.com and buy some cool stuff and help support this channel and help support me, like these glasses. They're on cheersofthequeers.com. And most importantly, cheers to the queers and happy traveling. Mwah!